For the past century, the United States has demonstrated aspects of its backwards mentality. How supporting the rich is more important than supporting the poor. How preserving the earth comes second to consumer demands. How we spend more on our material goods than feeding our own people. Thousands in the United States are left starving every day. To make matters worse, the most inexpensive food, purchased frequently by those in need, tends to be of the lowest quality. Although the widespread accessibility of food has tremendously benefited society, a problem occurs as well. While local, independent farmers slowly lose customers, larger corporations thrive, and the shadow of big business continues to spread across the food industry. San Diego Food Not Lawns, a grassroots nonprofit organization, serves as a savior, providing nutritious, affordable produce to everyone in need.
Food Not Lawns in San Diego has only been around for about 3 or 4 years. As the name implies, we certainly advocate the growing of edibles rather than the growing of grass. We feel that the very limited resource of water should be focused on growing food rather than growing, decorative grass and shrubs.
We as consumers, we can choose to make a difference by what we choose to buy. And so I try to buy organic as much as possible, and specifically local organic produce, supporting smaller farmers that are really having a hard time making it, and cuts down on the use of fossil fuels. And if it's organic, I'm not contributing to pesticides being put into the environment. I just think it's more equitable socially, economically, and for the environment. It was brought to my attention that there were these old garden beds down here that hadn't been used in many, many years. Yeah, the students get to come down here and work in the garden, and hopefully in the not too distant future be tasting the fruits of their labor, so to speak.
I think as consumers, the first and most important thing we can do is be more aware of what we're eating. Food should be precious. It shouldn't be seen as a commodity, something that pay the least amount of money for. It kind of comes down to whether you believe people have a right to eat. And if people have a right to eat quality food that's healthy rather than just corn chips and potato and soy derivatives, all these things that we've made artificially cheap. There are certainly a number of people who are sort of ultra-capitalists, I suppose, that feel that if you can't afford something, you can't afford it, and that's just the end of it. That sort of mentality, I think, is a bit backward. If you believe that people have a right to live freely, to have a shelter over their head, clothes to wear, and food to eat.
Even when we're eating healthy, we're not always being mindful of its impacts on the environment. The idea of eating seasonally is something that most of us don't think about. You think you're eating healthy and you're taking a bite of that nice organic apple. Has it been shipped, thousands and thousands of miles to get here, when there are apple orchards that are not thousands and thousands of miles away?
Be aware of what you're eating, and to live more simply, start your own garden. Even if you don't have land, if you don't have your own house or live in a condo that they own, start working in containers. You can grow quite a few herbs, if nothing else, in containers. You don't have to have a large plot to grow in.
Just the one thing that I'd like to kind of end with is that, a lot of times these larger environmental problems seem so big and so hard to tackle, but I really think that food is something that gets at the heart of so many of them.
So grow your own food, beware of what you're eating, and get involved with organizations like Food Not Lawns, like Roots, like Slow Food, because that's where you can learn a lot more very quickly, and find other people who are interested in the same things that you are.
By focusing on how to grow our own food, by focusing on how to recycle our compostable waste, we'll be minimizing a lot of the impacts that we as humans have.
San Diego Food Not Lawns was founded solely on the principle of helping and nourishing people, and does precisely that by educating people about proper water use, maintaining a proper diet, supporting local farmers, and, finally, the importance of community gardens. Those who want to help spread food justice can help by growing some of their own food, or, if that is not an option, buying the produce of local farmers. Even better, volunteering is an ideal first step towards attaining the goals set by San Diego Food Not Lawns. These small, simple changes to one's lifestyle can make all the difference.